Morning, everyone, and welcome back. So, today's topic is what is auto healing? That's what I had promised earlier. Uh, I trust most of you here attending Zoom webinar already have an idea about what is auto healing all about. Well, first of all, let's talk about healing and reassert the meaning of healing. The healing is not just about fixing, it is about restoring the state of wholeness, completeness, because healing comes from the word whole, healing. That's a German word. And from there comes the word health and healthy. Essentially, it's a restoration process. So every time we go through traumas, emotional, physical, body level, food, because of the food or because of any invasion, intrusion, even from the germs or bacteria, there is a bit of disintegration, and we need to heal and integrate that part of us so that we become whole and complete. And when we become whole and complete, we get in touch and remain in touch with that which is whole and complete. For a lot of people, healing can be just another word for fixing. For me, for all of you, for senior radical students and practitioners, healing is a way of life, of remaining connected to that which is whole and complete, and remaining guided by that which is whole and complete. And that is super consciousness, that is collective consciousness. And we all live from moment to moment, being guided at all levels. It's very interesting. They say that if you do not treat cold, a common cold, it takes 7 days. And if you treat it, it takes 1 week. It used to be a joke. Okay. However, it's beyond the joke. Some of the illnesses are auto healed even if you do not intervene with any treatment, because body has something called immunity. We'll fight it back. I had an interesting conversation with people who practice in tribal area. I said, how does it work? Says tribals don't need too much of healing. They have their own remedies, but most of the time they don't even fall sick. And I also know some of the congested locations in metros where every 200 meters there is a medical shop, which are all doing very well. And over and above, there are online medical suppliers. I wonder what happens to people who need so much of medical aid, and what happens to people who are living a natural life. And what is the difference? It's just the food, it's just the environment, it's just the mindset. What happens to the animals? You ask any doctors who are here probably. If a child gets a fracture, he will heal much faster. And if an adult or a senior citizen gets fracture, they'll take much longer. What is the difference and why does it happen? Over a period of time, thanks to our thoughts, emotions, our attitude, our beliefs, our conditionings, we somewhere get disconnected with the source. And that source is also the source of fantastic healing frequency. Healing is a natural process for all. If somebody has to do healing, that means we have deviated a lot from the natural connection that we are supposed to be enjoying day in and day out. If we are connected to the source, we are also connected to the healing frequency, and we are already on the auto healing process. And we do not really need to keep attempting healing all the time. However, if you have to keep attempting healing, The attempt should be just enough to make sure that you restore your connectivity with the ultimate consciousness. And when that connectivity is restored, the process of auto healing gets restored. Healing is that process that connects you with that which is whole and complete. And rest of the efforts should be to ensure that you remain connected and do not deviate from your connectivity with the ultimate. And when you're connected, you feel so much in peace, tranquility, composure. You feel guided. You almost know what to do, when to do, how to do. You almost know how to take your life forward. You know what's good for you, what's not good for you. Animals, birds, even beings, natural insects, they're connected. They
Auntie,
teach.
light paint is there. So yesterday they did the
Can you
picture.
put it on mute, please? All of you.
Again, he has to do the sonography. So they will check whether the stones are means anything particles are there. And again they will blast it.
Animals and birds, they are beautifully connected. And if you see how they migrate, how they save themselves during natural calamities, how they know how to give birth to babies, what to do to babies after they're born. Nobody teaches them, they just know it. A group of animals, when they learn something new, another group of animals in some remote area will know it without any communication with each other, because the communication gets passed on. All these are studied phenomena, and it's very interesting. Recently, I studied that sometimes when there is a possibility of a tornado, the birds know 6 months in advance and they cut short their, incubation time. They cut short their, not incubation time, but, the time they spend in the migratory places and return much earlier. How do they know months in advance that there's going to be a possibility of a tornado on their way? In fact, now they've started predicting whether there's going to be a tornado on their way by the way they choose to cut short their phase of migration. It's pretty intriguing. It's pretty interesting. However, there is amazing brilliance in the whole system. We just need to remain connected and be in allowance. Once you're connected, then you do not need so much of effort. In any case, I wonder whether we can really heal ourselves or anyone. We can merely facilitate healing, because healing happens. It's not meant to be done as such, but it's got to be facilitated. And how do you facilitate it? By addressing all that blocks our connectivity, all that interferes with our connectivity, and all that deviates us from the connectivity. So what blocks us, what interferes, and what deviates? Our thoughts, beliefs, conditionings, our emotional baggage, our complete devastation at times, a trauma, a triggering factor. They are the ones who deviate, interferes, and disconnects us from this connectivity. These are the times we need to address with our healing experiences or healing facilitation till the time you feel connected once again, till the time you feel whole and complete once again. We have been assigned a beautiful highway called life. We have our assigned lane, direction, and pace. When we feel connected, we know where to go, when to go, how fast to go, when to stop, when to take turn, and when to move on. We're guided. We're beautifully guided. However, where we often get affected by adverse circumstances at times, adverse thoughts, beliefs. We often deviate from that highway, go to the by lanes, go to the jungles, and get lost. We lose the connectivity too. And that's when we need to have intensive healing facilitation and try and go back to the space where we can restore that connection. And once the connection is restored, you're back again on the process of auto healing. Your connectivity puts you on auto healing. We are like that pipeline who are perhaps junked, blocked over a period of time where we haven't allowed this beautiful healing energy to flow through us. And there are blockages at various places. And because of that, the flow and connectivity gets hampered. When we remain connected for a little longer time, the blockages eventually gets clear. If you have the pipe connected to the source, you will not have blockages because of the regular flow. So auto healing is all about being that channel of healing frequency, being connected to the ultimate source of healing frequency, and being available to channelize this healing frequency to everyone around us. Be that channel, be that pipeline, and be connected to the experience of being on auto healing. I hope that makes a lot of sense. However technical it may sound, my latest attempt is to help people be on auto healing. Coming from the background as a homeopathic physician, I always had a desire to heal people. My initial attempts of teaching was also to prepare healers. Later, I realized I don't need to prepare healers because most of us are capable of healing ourselves. Then my entire attempt was to help people learn self-healing. Then I realized you don't even have to continue doing your self-healing all the time because self-healing is only needed to the time you get on to the experience of auto healing. And now my attempt is, or my dedication and a mission is to prepare people to remain on auto healing all the time, because that's when the healing will remain on automation and we all will be amazing channels of love and light and healing frequency. Join me for Awakening with Atman series, part 1, 2, and 3, designed to open up your channels of healing where you remain on auto healing and also spread love, light, and healing frequencies to people around you for aware, enlightened, and healed life. Thank you so much for joining. I will be open to have your questions and answers, if any. Any question from anyone? That's it. Okay, feel free to put it up in the WhatsApp group. And if you're listening to this conversation through YouTube, do give me your feedback, questions in the comment section. I would be happy to answer that. Have a blessed day and see you tomorrow once again at 8 a.m.